What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for an Olympic special here for a backyard simulator round. Got a little bit behind on my scheduling because of weather and other commitments and whatnot. So unfortunately this finished up. I was planning on playing this before or during the Olympic round for golf, but unfortunately this is I'm filming this the day after it just finished. So if you guys were tuning into the 2024 Olympics in Paris, the golf individuals just finished up yesterday, and Scottie Scheffler had an insane, as the helicopter goes over, Scottie Scheffler had an insane 9 under finishing round yesterday to claim the gold medal. Sorry, good timing by the helicopter. Alright, Scottie had an insane finishing round to claim the gold medal to win by 1 stroke, so we're going to give this a go. We're playing the same exact course here within GSPro as they played in Paris. So this is Les Golf National in, oh boy, Guyancourt, Paris, France. The course designer on this one was Mr. Perot. So this course was the home of the 2018 Ryder Cup and also hosting the golf competition, like I said, for the 2024 Olympics in Paris. I haven't watched a ton of it. I actually wasn't able to watch the golf yesterday. Wasn't able to watch it live, but I saw some of the highlights. I've been watching all of the men's basketball. Pretty cool. It's basically like an all-star team where they actually try. So I've been watching that, and I actually watched a handful of the women's rugby, which is actually pretty good. Some of those girls are absolute beasts, and they hit pretty hard. There was some pretty fun plays, so I was enjoying watching that. Besides that, I watched like here and there of a little bit of the gymnastics and swimming and whatnot, but not too much besides that. But we're going to give this a go. So for the rundown, everything's linked down below in the description. I also pin a comment. Really appreciate if you guys click those links, Amazon links, before you purchase anything, either for your house or anything golf related. Great way to support the channel at no additional cost. I just get a small commission if I refer the traffic. Doesn't cost you guys a penny extra. But Garmin Approach R10 behind me on a DIY level stand, 5x4 hitting mat, Callaway Superfast balls, 10x7 nets, and GSPro running on my gaming laptop over here. So without further ado, it is very hot out today. The weatherman described it as oppressive heat. So it's about 90 degrees. Luckily I'm in the shade. I had to wait a little bit longer to get out here. I'm in the shade, but real feel is probably 95, almost 100 with the humidity. So we'll see how it goes here. First hole, par 4, playing the furthest back tees like always. 433 yards. So let's take a look at this flyover. Only thing, I've been playing pretty good, both back here and on course. Last time I was out here, I did the Bryson versus Trump Break 50 challenge, and I was pretty happy with how I played there. And one thing that I did, just because I had 2 shots at everything, I was swinging pretty hard at driver. And I actually, later that day, it was a lot of swings, but later that day I went and walked 9 with some family members. So all I wanted to focus on today is, I don't really want to change a whole lot because I've been playing really good on course. I've been having record low course rounds, and I've been playing pretty good back here too. So I don't want to change a ton, but all I want to do is just try to ramp up speed a little bit more and swing pretty hard off the tee. And besides that, just maybe, I was experimenting a little bit with it beforehand. I only hit about 5 balls on the range because it's so hot. I don't need to do that much of a warm-up, but just going to shut down my stance just a tad, just to strain things out just a little bit more. Come just a little bit more from the inside versus I've been noticing on some of my simulator rounds, especially wedges and sometimes with driver too, been opening my stance a little bit too much. So that's about it. Just swing hard off the tee and just shut down the stance a little bit. But let's see what we can do here off this first tee. Narrow landing spot. We're going to go here just in case. That's a safer line out that way. Rather not put one into the water if I can help it, so we'll go there. And like I said, I'm going to swing hard. Oh, hit a rock. Hopefully that didn't register. First couple swings, I'm not going to swing out of my shoes, but once I get a real full sweat going, I'm already sweating pretty good, but get a few swings under my belt, have the back warm up a little bit, then I'll really start going after the tee shots. And basically the theory is I just want to try to ramp up speed as much as possible, try to increase my top end speed as much as I can while I'm capable of doing it, and then in theory that should just be able to, when I gear down and try to smooth one out there, kind of raise up my cruising speed, if you will. But let's see what we got here. Ultimately, the goal by the end of this summer, I want to be hitting the 110, 115 mark, relatively consistency with club head speed back here on the simulator. Up the left, that's a result of shutting down my stance. I didn't hit it that great, so I shook it down before the water, but wasn't really trying to draw it that much, but that's not too bad. 151, 103. Again, I don't want to like swing 110% off the very first tee and pull something in my back, so we're going to slowly start ramping things up, but I think by the next one, probably be a little bit quicker. By the third and fourth tee shots, I'll be swinging pretty hard. All right, decent start. 274 on the rollout. I did all the course recommended settings and whatnot. I always click it and I forget to take note of it. Oh, not the shortcut, scorecard. So fairways and normal, greens and normal. All right. I try to. It's mainly the fairways I can kind of tell. You just get some extra rollout or not if they're soft, firm, link style, etc. But mainly just the greens, so I know, especially around the green, how much I need to account for the rollout. If they're going to be super firm, or if they're going to be softer and more receptive and kind of land. But leaves us with 152. Not much on the line, pretty flat. Pins in the front. What do we got back here? 160. I mean, right there is a well-struck 9-iron. I don't love that water there, so I'm gonna go here, and I guess I'm still gonna hit a 9. Hopefully, I hit it good enough to be dry. Was debating hitting an 8 just to make sure it is up and over that water, but let's see what we can do here with the 9. I did hit. I don't know if you guys saw it while I was doing my intro on the first tee shot. It leaves up your last shot that just registered on the range. The last shot I took was like a 143-yard pitching wedge, which is pretty far. I hit it relatively decent with shutting down the stance and whatnot, made some pretty good contact. So I don't know if I'm going to be seeing some extra distance because it's so hot and humid. Hopefully that's the case with this one with that water and this 9-iron, but that was at least promising. All right, here we go. 9-iron, 152. A little bit thin. Should be relatively straight though. It's fading a bit, and I aimed out to the right to be safe, but that should stay inside the inner circle for a +2 and a par, I think. It's coming back a little. Oh, what is this? I pressed the space bar. Approach test setup. Anonymous, carry, distance fixed random, target carry. Oh, you can change the target to total. That'd be kind of nice. I mean, I just pressed the spacebar. I don't know why it did that. I've never seen this before. Oh no. Was that a glitch? Alright, we're gonna have to start this again. So this is what I usually do. Course recommended settings. Friday pins. Black tees. Well, I don't know what the deal is with that. I pressed the space bar to try to speed up that that putt rolling backwards. It looks like we're gonna have to do it again. I don't know what I did. I don't know if that was a GSPro glitch. I don't really feel like redoing all that intro that I just said, so I'm gonna keep this going, and we're just gonna replay the first hole again. Sorry about that. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Maybe I'll just refrain from hitting the space bar, but looks like we're gonna. I could skip the first hole, but then it's not gonna put in a score, so it's not gonna be a full 18. So that's the first for the channel. You guys are seeing that. We're gonna go ahead and re-tee things up. Try to play this first hole again pretty quick. If any of you, I don't know, every other time the spacebar is fast forward, so when the ball's slowly rolling, you can press it or hold it, and it speeds it up if it's slowly rolling, which is what I was trying to do there, and I don't know why that popped up. That was kind of strange, but All right, we're back on the first tee again, so I don't mind the par there, but I guess we're gonna have to try to do it again. Maybe I'll hit a better drive and a better 9-iron and get a birdie. So same line, we'll go there. It's always something. Oh, that was, felt like I hit it harder, but it was out to the right. 106.8, 152. Get a bounce left. All right, it's gonna stay there in the rough. First one, that was actually hit pretty solid. Club face was just a little bit open. It was a little bit quicker too. First one, we got some more distance out of it. Now we're out of the rough, and we've got basically about the same. So 150 down, about 147. Just gonna hit another 9-iron at it, and we'll go here. Not that it's a huge deal. It's going to be an extra couple minutes just to play this hole again, but kind of takes you, that's in the back of my head now, hoping that doesn't happen again. It kind of takes you out of the rhythm of a round. But I probably should check the lie. Oh, it's going to come out way left. Good thing I did that. All right. So we did aim right, and it's on the down slopes, but it's going to come out left, so we're going to go even further out that way. I pulled it. That could be wet. Right into the water. Had a feeling maybe shutting down my stance just a little bit, that may come into play a bit more. But I think that's just, I don't need to, again, I don't want to change a ton because I've been playing pretty good. And I've been consistently hitting the fade. All right, well, this is unfortunate. We started off with a par. Now we're dropping 3 and we're hitting 4 out of the rough from 60 yards. So this is not going to be as good scorecard wise, unfortunately, but leaves us with 60. The rough is going to be 6%, so like 3 yards. So we're at like 64 total. It's on a down slope. It's going to come out a little bit left, so we'll aim here. Going 56. Oh, I chunked it and pushed it right, but hopefully that's up onto the green. All right. That sucks. Was that a double? All right, from par, from par to double. Really no fault of my own. I don't know if that was, again, I pressed something that I shouldn't, or if that was just a GSPro glitch. If that happens again, I guess I'll have to, I don't know, shut down this video and restart things completely. But kind of an unfortunate start there. So instead of being even through one, now we're 2 over through 1. But you guys saw it all, so we're gonna keep it rolling. So second hole, par 3, 201, down 6 yards, more water to contend with. Wish I would have watched more of the golf coverage. I would have had a better idea of what I'm contending with some of these holes. But water again, so this is gonna have to be, we're looking at 195 total. Pins not in the best location, but right there would have to be a really well struck 6. So I'm gonna go 5-iron to make sure it's dry. We're gonna aim, I guess I'd rather be in the bunker if I slice one. We'll aim there. Rather be in the bunker than if I pull one left into the water. So we're gonna go 5 and make sure we're up and over. I guess at this point I'm already 2 over. I could just start getting aggressive, but well, it's gonna be to the right. It was hit relatively hard, but that's way right. Sit. Hopefully after these first couple holes, like I said, with me shutting down my stance just a little bit, I can kind of find a happy middle ground. Now I'm kind of got the 2-way miss going, which I don't really love. Hopefully I'm not going to be throwing myself off permanently. If this keeps happening, both pretty significant pulls and pretty significant pushes to the right and slices. That was a pretty mondo slice. Club face was wide open. I may just go back to what feels like a little more neutral. The whole reason why I'm doing this, I saw a video. I don't know who it was, but basically they lined up like alignment sticks, and stakes all the way out to like 150-yard target. But the teacher had the guy line up, and he said, all right, line up to where you think you're starting the ball. And then it seems like it's a pretty common occurrence where everyone tends to line up a little more open, and especially with longer clubs like driver, he had to feel like he was like lined up about, he was square to the target, but it felt like he was lined up like 15-20 yards right of target for driver to be able to get it to actually where he was lined up straight. So that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. But all right, let's see if we can make up for that. 40 yards down about a yard. We're on a significant downslope, so I gotta launch this high and land it soft. It's gonna come out a little bit right. I think probably in the neighborhood of 35. I'm gonna try the 56. I could open up a 60 and hit it up and over, but let's try the 56, open it up. Might be too much. Oh man, this is not how I planned on this going. We're battling now. That's 2 drops in a row after that unfortunate restart on the first hole. So now we got 51. Now I can use that same shot again. That'd be good. Gonna come out a little bit left on a downslope again. We'll go there. Man. Pushed it right, but even that's too much. We're still gonna have to chip. Jeez Louise, this is gonna be like a triple or worse. We were 1, 2 into the water, 3 down, that was 4. We're hitting 5. Oh, it gave it to us. All right, just like that. Now we're 6 over through 2. Jeez Louise, we got some work to do, folks. Talk about putting myself behind the 8 ball. Now, that's unfortunate. We gotta have a really good rest of this round to be able to scrape something back to a respectable score. We're not playing the furthest back tees. These are like very, very challenging tees, but that's mainly driver and like second shots into the greens and stuff. No excuse there for what I just did with those wedges. But all right, 6 over through 2, third hole, par 5, 562. Still perplexed. Again, I'm gonna be thinking about that now for the rest of the day, especially this round. I don't know why that pulled up, what happened there with that fast forward. But we are where we are. Just got to make the best of it at this point. Yes, already being 6 over through 2 opens the door to swing pretty hard at these, so aim up the left over here. Low and left. That was way heely. Off the cart path. Jeez. Well, this is turning into a very interesting round, to say the least. All right. Not expected how I. This is not expected, or how I anticipated this going. It's gonna be 3-wood out of here. My luck. I'll go right into that water in front, but I just got to start piecing. I got to piece together like a couple good shots in a row. Get back into the swing of things here. 3-wood. Downslope, which is not going to be great. It's going to come out way right, but there should be fine. As long as we can get up and over that water to start. All right. Sit. Thought I hit it better than that. I don't know. I think we were in the deep rough in there, but still That felt, yeah, I mean, we got 144 ball speed out of it, swung it at 100. Garmin had that at 233 carry. We only got 132, so we got 100 yards less of carry out of that. So this may be one of those days, or at least this round. I'm planning on playing one more after this. Maybe one of those where, even if I'm hitting it good, could just get unlucky on some of these, because that felt like a pretty good strike. 233 carry from a 3-wood off the deck is not bad. That would have rolled out if we caught the fairway, close to my like 250-ish number, I would think. But in any event, at least it's a par 5. We're hitting 3, 167 in the rough. So 6%, 10% would be 16, so like 8 yards. That brings us up to, I don't want to be long though. It's right, unfortunately, it's right between a 7 and an 8. I'm gonna go 8, and hopefully I'm playing to the front side of the green. Hopefully it gets there. Not sure it will. If I hit a 7, last time on course, that was last week, I had a par 3 at about 185 to the back, and I hit my 7 iron off the tee, and I was like 10 yards long. It was probably 5 yards past the pin and then 5 yards off the green just into the rough. So I hit it like probably 190, 195 with my 7 iron, which doesn't always happen, but just a little bit afraid of that right now. Thin, should be pretty straight though. Get a bounce up there. All right, that's better. Terrible drive, pretty good 3-wood swing. We got kind of an unfortunate break with that 3-wood. That was a thin 8 iron, but that was what we needed. That wasn't a horrendous swing, and it was pretty straight. So we scraped out a par. We're back on the par train where we were to start it off before it canceled. But 6 over through 3, 4th hole, par 4, 485. Part of me swinging harder too is me, one, I have relatively strong legs, trying to engage some of the ground force and like almost squatting into it, kind of what Rory talks about. Try to engage more of that kind of jumping and ground force with the extra power source in my legs. Part of that goes into swinging harder, and also part of that, I would think, would help alleviate some of the wear and tear and tension solely on my back and my spine from swinging mainly just with more of like the upper body without as much of your legs engaged. So I think that would be, if I can figure that out. That last one was an example of it not working out so great, but if I can figure out how to squat into it and time it up a little bit better. All right, we'll go here. Should be straighter. 106.6, 152, right down the middle, a little baby fade. Take that. Just shy of 270. Normal fairways, so as opposed to firm or link style, we're not going to get quite as much rollout, but that's not a bad tee shot. I would take that if I could do that every day. 268. Leaves us with 215 or 214 up 5, so 219 total. What are we looking at for pin location? I think I'm going to go 5 iron. Again, play it towards not exactly pin seeking here. 4 iron, maybe a smoother 4 might be a better club selection, but I can get the 5 up to 215, 220 if I strike it well. So that's what I'm hoping for, and just hoping I can straighten it out a bit and not flare it to the right like I did on that last one. Club twisted and that hurt my left wrist. That's not great. This is going from bad to worse. Now I'm hurting myself. That did not feel good on the outside of my left wrist. I don't know what that was all about. All right, bunker shot, 24 yards. I shake out my hand a little bit. 24, up about 2 yards, so 26 out of the bunker. Green side's gonna be 25%, so It's another 5 yards. So we're looking at just over 30 total. We're on an upslope, which is good. Gonna come out a little bit right, green sloping that way. So we'll go there and just try to flop this 60 up and out in the neighborhood of right around 30. Anything 25 to 35 should be just fine. That's what I was looking for. Let's see. Ooh, just a little bit too much. We'll take that though. 36 yards of carry from the Garmin. Gave us 23 in the game, 28 total. Bogey. Felt like a pretty good strike. I guess I just put a little bit too much on it, but you never know up and out of that bunker. So I think that we're 7 over. This is a pretty stark difference compared to the last time I was out here when I was doing the break 52 man by myself scramble challenge, and I shot 11 under par. It was basically just a birdie barrage, and now I'm struggling to even get a par. But granted, that was from the red tees. I was doing a scramble by myself. These are from the black tees all the way back. So all right, 7 over through 4. 5th hole, par 4, 3-9-3. As long as I don't hurt myself by the end of this, I'm gonna be, hopefully again, bring this back down to maybe by the end of it, if I can get to 5 over or under that, get a couple birds maybe, bring this back down, kind of right the ship a little bit, and the next round that I'm planning on playing should be a good redemption round if I can play a little bit better. I'm already looking forward to that because this scorecard is no bueno through 4 holes. Man, my wrist, that hurt. That wasn't a bad swing. It just feels like when right down the middle, when I brought that back, I got some pain in my left wrist. Whole reason why I'm out here is because for the next week straight, there's supposed to be rain. There's like 75% chance of rain every single day, if not higher, for the next week. So today was the only day. So I guess if I did do something to my wrist, I'll have some time to recover, but hopefully that kind of goes away and it's something just like pops or releases. It's not exactly the most fun thing in the world to have a injury pop up mid-round, but 272 on that one, 148. That was just, I think, smash factor 1.45. That was just hit a little bit better. So 272 total. I could feel that pain, like I said, in my wrist as soon as I brought it back, so I didn't swing it as quick, but good contact. Leaves us with 120. So we'll go here and just gonna hit approach wedge. Started left, a little bit toey, should come back right. We'll see. May need to go just a little. Oh, not bad. All right, 123 total. I usually play this to right around 125 if I hit it good with a full shot. So that was toey, but it wasn't a terrible strike, and we were a yard and a half off of that, so not the worst in the world. We'll take that. All right, 6th hole, still 7 over. Par 4, 3-8-6. All right, a little more straightforward hole this time. Play it right up there. Not a ton to get into trouble with if I can just get it on a good start line, hit it relatively hard-ish. Toey, it's going to be up the left. It's drawing. Just stay in the rough. Still on that. That's unfortunate when I came out here trying to swing harder. Those driver swings, particularly when I'm swinging harder and trying to really release my wrists, release the club, I can feel that. So may have to, unfortunately, on a day that I was coming out looking forward to and trying to ramp speed up and hit it hard, may have to dial things back here a little bit. Oh, I'm just hoping again, I'm trying to like stretch it out, hoping it just like, my wrist just like pops and it frees up. But 123 up, we'll call it 2 yards, so 125 out of the rough. 10% would be 12, so like another 6. I'm gonna go pitch and wedge. Don't need to hammer this, but just a smooth swing. I could probably, if I swung really full and hit it good, I could probably get the full approach wedge there, but try the smooth-ish pitching wedge. Way left, come back. Pinned high, but started left and stayed there. Chalk that one up to the shut stance. At least, seems like back here and on course, my miss, obviously playing the fade, my miss has been more of a significant slice than I would like. Obviously that makes sense, but now shutting down the stance, at least I'm able to draw them again. And that was more of a hook. The last ones, the misses to the left have been hooks, but again, if I can maybe do this for a little bit and then eventually just straighten things out just a tad. Wasn't hit horrendous, but 21. It's gonna come out way right, and we're on a downslope, so we'll go here and probably look for about 15 yards of carry. Maybe just shy of 20 because we're in the rough, but it's gonna be a 60 degree. See what we can do here. Should be decent. All right, take that. Save par. Sticking at 7 over through 6. 7th hole, par 4, 42. Sometimes, I was actually having a decent day before this. Sometimes things go your way, sometimes they don't. Felt like my game was in a good place. Like I said, I was having a decent day before coming out here. Felt pretty excited about coming out and playing, swinging hard. Felt like my game was in a good place, and then started off with a par. Fortunately, like I said, we had to, and you guys saw, we had to start over, and now it's been struggle bus plus the wrist injury ever since. So from feeling good to and playing decent to feeling not so good and playing pretty bad, all within about 5 minutes. Club face was open. Aimed up the left though, so this should be fine. Get a bounce into the fairway. Wasn't hit the best, but again, I don't want to make this wrist injury any worse than it already may be. Doesn't feel like my wrist is going to fall off by any means, but definitely you can still feel that, especially with driver. Leaves us with 221 left, out of the rough, down about a yard. Thinking 4 hybrid here. It's going to come out right, so we're going to aim here. We're on an upslope, so 10% would be 22. Half of that 12. Yeah, I think 4 hybrid should be a decent club if I can hit it. Chunky. Straight though. Go. Wow. We aimed left too. There was, 2.5 spin axis to the right. That's in the neighborhood of a baby fade. I don't think I aimed far enough left because that came out way right and just stayed there. I think that was more to do. I hit that fat, so I knew that was going to be short no matter what, but I think that missing it that far right had more to do with the lie and not accounting enough for that than than the swing, because club path wasn't too bad. I mean, if I can be within 0 to 3 degrees either way, obviously as close to 0 neutral as you can, but like face to path, anything from -3 to +3 on the club path, and same thing depending on where the face is, anything in there as close to 0 as possible. And again, I know spin axis isn't the R10 strong suit, but that's not a terrible, like, I don't hate that. That's not a Mondo slice by any means, so see if we can make up for it. 20 yards, we're short side. This is a weird green. It's going to come out right, we're on an upslope. We're in the deep rough. All right, that's going to be 21%, so 4 yards, looking at about 25. Don't hate it. A little bit left. I actually don't hate, that's a miss, but compared to what I was doing the last round, I was opening my stance way too much with my wedges. I do that on course, but I was basically just cutting across it, and I was basically slicing my wedges. So even though I pulled that, it just kind of started left. I don't really hate that, because that just means I'm kind of course correcting and figuring things out here. It brings us to 8 over. I mean, at this point, you guys can't expect me to can't expect to be seeing a super low round here. So scorecard's kind of shot. At this point, we're just trying to figure things out and hopefully hit some decent shots. But when I grab my driver, it's par 3. 8 over through 7, 8th hole par 3, 222 down 6. Was it down 6 or down 8? Either way, pin's way in the back. Down 6. So 216 total. I think I'm gonna go 5, because even if I don't hit it great, that puts us to the middle frontish of the green. Pin seeking, maybe more of a 4-iron, but 5-iron I could still put it off the back. 5-iron should put us on the green if I can strain it out. Club face was open again. 10.4 to the right. That's going to miss right. A little bit thin too. Alright. It's weird. Even shutting down the stance, how that can still happen. Possible. Didn't feel great. I feel like I came over the top on that. 5 degrees out to in, it said. Could be because I'm shutting it down. It feels like I'm aimed too far right, so I'm coming over the top to try to subconsciously strain things back out versus just letting the club and kind of natural swing feels take over. But I think I may be overcompensating a little bit, just not even trying to, but I think just because I'm shutting down the stance, it feels like maybe I'm coming a little bit more over the top than I would be normally, just to strain things out. But 31 yards, up about a yard, so 32 total. We're in the fairway, so 32 total is it. Downslope's going to come out a little bit left. We'll go there. Let's try a little bit more of a standard shot that I would play as another helicopter goes over. There was a couple too before when I was setting up. I don't know what the deal is. Let's try my regular like 30-yard shot with this that I would play more on course than what I used to do with Home Tee Hero. Thin, but straight. Sit. Yikes. This is going to be an ugly score by the end of this. This is not going to be fun to edit. 10 yards, come out right. I'll aim here. We're on a downslope. Just trying to get inside the inner circle, salvage this hole. Should be decent. I was struggling with my wedges, like I mentioned last time I did 18 holes of the scramble, so I basically played, obviously 2 shots every time. It was basically 36 holes like I usually do, and then I went and played 9. I was struggling a little bit with contact-wise with my wedges on course. Everything else I was hitting pretty decent, but the wedges weren't great on course. I shot 41, so it was 5 over, but I kind of just chalked that up to fatigue and exhaustion from so many swings before. But now it seems like I got some work to do with my wedges again, because not hitting my wedges very good now either. So brings us to 9 over through 8, 9th hole, par 5, 597. All right, we could use a birdie here. I was hoping I would play good here and possibly be able to do something with the title and thumbnail of like seeing if I could compete with Scottie, but obviously I cannot. 9 under for a round, that is nuts. So I'm assuming this is a par 72, so that means he shot 63 for that final round, which is crazy. A little bit better, should be a baby fade. Kind of just a standard swing again. My wrist is not great, but we got 282 out of that. Maybe that goes to show better off swinging. That was only 101.4. I feel like I'm not able to go at it as much. Maybe better off making better contact, and you get even more distance than if I'm really going after things. But long way home. Gonna go 3-wood up here. Luckily, just playing this because of the Olympics, but luckily I'm not trying to shoot a super low score like I did last time. I was pretty happy with how I played, but not doing like a subscriber requested course or any type of crazy challenge to where I'd be even more down in the dumps about the scorecard right now. But this is kind of just a regular round, so if I shoot 20 over, it kind of is what it is. Chunky and left. Right into the bunker, and next to the lip on top of it. Tell you what, those heavier, chunky shots do not feel good on the left wrist. That was weird too. It happened on that 5-iron swing, I think. All right, 114 out of the sand. So 5-10%. It's a dynamic lie out of this. We're right up against the lip, but it's on a pretty significant upslope. So I would think it's going to play closer to that 5% than 10%. So 10 would be 11, would bring us up to 125. I'm thinking about 120 total maybe. It's going to come out pretty far to the right, so we're going to aim here. And I'm just going to hit approach wedge. We'll see what it gives us speed-wise or power-wise out of this bunker, but wow, we hit the lip and it came right back down. That was pretty thin. Kind of surprised we didn't get out of that though from that upslope. Well, let's do it again. Said it before, I'll say it again. It's crazy how, well, at least we're on a flatter lie this time. It's crazy how I can go from playing really, really good golf one day and then the next day being like 10 over par through like the front 9. That was also thin. We got out though. Go! I don't know if we caught the lip or not. Where was that the first time? We say par from that? Alright. Things are looking up. That one I felt like I tried to swing a little bit more. I tried to let the club drop and tried to swing a little bit more, having the club drop and swing closer to my right knee instead of more over the top, letting the club drop and coming in. I think that helped a little bit on that one. We'll see if we can keep that swing feel going, if that will help us out here. But 9 over through 9. Bogey golf here, folks. 10th hole onto the back 9. par 4, 384. Main thing though, gotta remind myself you guys have bad rounds too. It's impossible to get worse if you just keep swinging, keep practicing. It may not show right away. There's no golf or really anything in general. You're not gonna have linear progression. One of my family members is in a pretty bad slump right now. I was trying to give him a pep talk and kind of amp him up. I've been there before. I may be falling into a slump now after some really good golf, but just gonna keep swinging through it. And as long as you keep swinging, it's impossible to get worse. So eventually all the work here, even if this is a bad round, it's all gonna pay off. So maybe this round is gonna be horrendous, which it likely will be. Maybe I'll have another couple rounds that are bad, but even the bad rounds are still gonna benefit you in the long run. So it kind of helps when you're playing bad. Keep that in mind. It doesn't get you so much as down in the dumps as maybe you otherwise would be. Some days you have it, some days you simply don't. Alright, up the right, I may catch the rough, but I didn't want to be towards that water, so 106, 151. Not going to get a ton of rollout, obviously, into the rough, but we're in play and we're dry. 126. Up, we'll call it 4 yards, just shy of 4 yards, so that brings us up to 130, and the rough is 6%, so 10% would be 13, so half that, 6-7 yards. I'm going to go pitch and wedge. Gonna come out left. That should actually be fine. And we'll go there. If I hit this halfway decent, it puts us on the green. Can't be pin seeking right now, and I don't have that much control in general in my game, but anything on the green, right in that 130, 135 neighborhood. Should be pretty close to that. Alright. I mean, a little bit long, but I landed it right next to it. That's about as good as it gets for a par. That was almost a bird. It does seem to help. I think that I kind of at least figured something out here amongst a pretty bad score-wise round, but those last couple swings just shutting down my stance a little bit, and I kind of took me a few holes, but kind of course corrected as I was going. Just that feeling of still shutting down my stance, and instead of, like I was saying, kind of subconsciously, I was probably just spinning out and coming over the top to try to get something to start more in my mind what feels straight, instead of those last couple swings, which have been better. Just taking a bit more time at the top, just letting my hands drop a little bit and coming more, have the feeling of swinging along my right knee and coming out that way to get things started a bit straighter. Seems to be helping out, so see if we can keep doing that. It'll be a good test here for the 11th hole, which is a par 3, 168, down a little more than a yard. So take a look at the flyover. We're 9 over. I'm thinking 8 iron, depending on where this pin is, but I know there's water. Ooh, pins front right. That's 168. Even if I mishit it though, it should still get there. The problem is if I hit 7 iron, I'd have to do like a 75% 7 iron. Who knows with that? So we're gonna go here, and I'm just gonna hit an 8 iron, see if I can put a little bit extra oomph on it and get it there. That in-between number. Usually play the 7 iron to 180, 185, which is gonna be, if I even do that, that's gonna be 10, 15 yards off the back of the green. A little bit chunky, but that was straighter. It should be enough to be dry or right at it. Sit. All right, birdie. That helps. Better swings these past couple. Things are looking up. I'm gonna go, I mean probably not, but I'm gonna try to go much lower in the second video today. I feel better about the swing these last couple holes though. All right, 8 over through 11. 12th hole, par 4, 439. Like I said, I mentioned towards the beginning. If I can be somewhere around 5 over by the end of this, claw some strokes back, I'd be pretty happy. And although overall be kind of disappointed with the round, it will feel pretty good and feel like it was almost a good round if I'm able to claw some back here and be able to play decent these last few holes here. Kind of end on a somewhat of a high note. Low line drive up the middle. That's a baby draw on top of it. That's a low missile. I hit that so low on the face, it was out of the middle, but we got a baby draw on it. Got 106.6 on the club, 150. That's kind of crazy. We got 150 out of that, how low I hit that. But we're out there. All right. 196 left out of the rough, up about a yard. So 197, the rough, that's like another 10 yards. So we're looking at 207. Let's try the 6. Haven't hit that yet today, I don't think. It's between a 6 and a 5. 5, if I hit it good, it'll be a little bit too much. 6, I'm gonna have to hit this pretty good to get there, but it's a better selection if I can actually strike it halfway decent. Thin. Go. Get a bounce. All right, we got that left, a little 60 degree. Kind of came up and out of that one. Caught that pretty low again. Got to have my chest more over the ball and feel like I'm covering it, staying down and through the shot. Oh, it gave it to us. That's unfortunate. I would have liked my chances to chip there. All right, back to 9 over. 13th hole, par 4, 413. I wish, I said the same thing when I was playing Home to Hero. I wish there would be an option there instead of automatically giving it to you. I'm fine, obviously, with the, if you're on the green within a, obviously +1 I would take all day long, and +2, fine with that. But if you're in the +3 territory like that, same thing with Home to Hero, I would like if they could just give you an option and say, take the +3 or try to chip it and possibly save a stroke. So I would have liked my chances to get it. I mean, inside the +2 circle, you're in the same spot anyways, and then you have that option to basically get it inside the +1 or hole it out and save a stroke or two, which would be kind of nice instead of just giving it to you. But all right, we got water right, so we're going to aim into the rough over here. That was left, or not. Started left, coming back right. That felt like a draw. Felt like a pulled draw. Possibly a slight mystery there. We got 153 on the ball speed though. Kind of some abnormally high ball speeds. Granted, I swung it at 107, but 153.6, that's not bad by any means. 275 total. Maybe there's something to this, shutting down the stance a little bit and letting taking that fraction of a second. It feels like forever, but fraction of a second more, and then dropping it a little bit more from the inside. Leaves us with 155 out of the rough, and we got a bunch of water to contend with. So what am I going to hit? 155 down 2 yards. So 153, but then we're out of the rough. It's going to be an 8-iron. Down slope. It's going to launch a little bit lower and run out a little bit more, but rather be off the back of the green and dry than mishitting or not catching all of a 9-iron coming up short. Left, toey and left, come back, sit. All right. I wouldn't even mind if this round is just a kind of a two-way miss left and right type of round, and then going forward I just bring it, neutralize it, and kind of find a happy medium between the two, and really start hitting straighter. Not that I've been hitting it that bad lately, but again, if I can just minimize a little bit of that fade, over fade slice, just a little bit, and neutralize it a little bit. It may take a round or two for that to happen, so can't expect I can just decide to do it and happen right away. But 19 yards. All right, try to land this about 15 or so. Don't hate it, may need to go just a little. Get going. All right. Par. Still 9 over, unfortunately, but been at least piecing together some pars. Had a birdie in there. 9 over through 13. 14th hole, par 5, 5, 4, 6. The round after this is just a round that it's just a self-selected round that I've seen a bunch of times on forums when people, like Facebook forums or Reddit or etc., people asking if they have any courses that people have played that are really cool and people would recommend. So the one right after this that I'm going to play is that course. So again, low pressure round. Looking forward to it. Should be pretty scenic, but hopefully I can straighten things out and put up a halfway decent score. All right, this is what we're talking about here with this fairway. Not much up there to contend with, so we can put something out there, and we got tons of room left and right. So a little bit low, but I don't hate it. Ooh, that was a draw too. 103, 152. Rough's gonna hold it up. 252 into the rough. That felt, again, it was a low launch, but that felt like it should have been pretty dead straight, and it was actually a little bit of a baby draw. Whether that was actually a baby draw or just maybe started that way and that would have realistically faded back a little bit. Either way, pretty straight. 267 left out of the rough. We're gonna go 3 wood. Hopefully catch it a little bit cleaner. I think I'd rather go this way and cut the corner a little bit and end up short in this bunker, which will likely happen. But up and over those, as long as I can launch it up and over that, I think that's, well, maybe here. That's probably a better line than going further out to the right. That's going to be in the hills. I almost topped that low and left. Yikes. I wanted that one. Oh, and of course it's out of bounds too. Alright, at this point we're 9 over. Might as well start racking up the score. Alright, let's do it again. Well, so much for that theory. Learn from my mistake. Aim further to the right. Also left, but it was hit harder. Go! Don't tell me that's out of bounds again. Alright. 146 on the ball. $87 from the deep rough, down 2 yards. So 85 deep rough is 21%, so that's like 16 yards. We're looking right around a hundo. Upslope's gonna come out right, short-sided. So we'll aim here, and we'll do my 100-yard choke down approach wedge shot, hopefully, somewhere in that neighborhood. A little bit thin, pretty straight though. Yeah. This is the portion of the round where I'm debating why I even came out here today. shots like that, multiple in a row, can't always play good and have good scores, but when you seemingly can't piece together a couple good shots or do anything remotely close to what you're doing, it's a little bit frustrating here. But 10 yards up about a yard or two, so this is going to be like a flop-ish, maybe 12 or so yards with the 60. It'll launch it kind of high. Alright. I did push that a tad right, and it did end up a little bit right, but even drop kicked that a little bit, caught just a little bit heavy. Couldn't tell if I caught the mat first. Sometimes it's tough to tell with this, if I was just utilizing the bounce, but felt a little bit heavy, but that was a good result. Pretty happy with that shot. 11 over through 14, 15th hole, par 4, 413. Maybe, I'm thinking, maybe a more accurate goal would have been if Scottie shot 9 under. Maybe if I aimed for 9 over, would have been a little more accurate goal, at least how I'm playing now. We're 11 over right now. Low in the face again, but it was hit relatively hard, decent. Didn't feel the best, but 106.7, 151. I am swinging a little bit quicker, considering, like I've said before, I think the ball speeds and the club speeds are lower than they are in reality if I was playing on a higher end unit or in real life. So if I can, that's what I was saying, if I can get up towards 110, 115 on the club, 107 there, that could have been closer to maybe 110, 112. Be pretty happy with that speed if I could get up there. I don't feel like I'm that far off either. I think it's just coming down to, I feel like I swing hard enough at things. I think it just comes down to technique, maybe not coming as much over the top and have so much more upper body, but more of dropping the club and having the speed be more that whip at the bottom versus wasting a ton of my energy and power at the top of the swing. But 151, let's go 9 iron. Healy started left, should come back. Sit. Alright, maybe we're gonna have to chip that maybe. Definitely didn't flush it, but it wasn't horrendous. 6 yards. Gonna come out a little bit left. Alright. Looking at bottom section of the net. Oh, sit. Yeah, knew as soon as I did it. That got up and away from me. I was aiming for down here, hit all the way up here. Oh well, 12 over. 16th hole, par 3, 186, down 5. All right, probably going to be a 7. At least you guys got a little bit of an inside look of me having to reset the round. So basically that's what I do. I just go in there, I download the course if I don't already have it downloaded, go over to the match settings, press course recommended settings because that sets the wind, the fairway, and the greens. I always turn off the wind, and then I select my tee boxes and the pins and all that stuff. But another helicopter. Wow, this pin is way back here. All right, we'll go here, 7 iron. Maybe whoever that is Coast Guard, military, whatever, maybe they're going to drop a care package because they know I'm playing so bad and my golf game could use it. A little bit chunky. Wow, it's fading a lot more than that felt like. That did not feel like 10 degrees out to in. Maybe it was. What do we got? 17 out of the rough. It's going to come out left. We're on an upslope. So aim here. Looking at about probably 15, almost 17 yards with if I compensate for the rough percentage, probably an extra yard maybe. So yeah, right around 15. Sit. All right, sat. Go in. I thought that was going to be a little bit too much. That felt like it kind of shot off the club a little bit hotter than I wanted to, but got it to work. All right, 12 over, 2 holes left. 17th hole, par 4, 475. Again, I really hope I can just kind of reset things here right after I finish this. I only take about less than 5 minutes in between rounds, but kind of clear my mind, reset things here, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to play for another week or so. So I would really like to be feeling good about my game going inside and not being able to play for a week versus having a round like this or possibly even a worse one coming up next, which could very well happen. Be kind of a not so great feeling to play horrendous and then have to not be able to play again for a week. Kind of want to basically go inside and end on a high note, not something that is a sour taste in your mouth. Up the right, 104, 151, should be fine. Roll out a little bit, maybe 270, 275, 276. Not horrendous. Don't feel like I've really even hit anything flush. Like, I can't think throughout this round if I hit one single shot where I was like, all right, that was hit really, really good what I was trying to do, which is kind of unfortunate, but leaves us with 2 hundo. Up a little over 3, so we're like 203, 204. Go 6 iron. Thin, it's going to be way right and short. Thin heel strike, no bueno. At least it's up there, like that's a manageable miss. It's just, as soon as I hit it, I'm not happy with it. Not that I expect to put it right next to the pin from 200 yards every time, but would hope to be on the green, not flare it that far to the right. All right, downslope, we're in the fairway. It's gonna come out left, so we'll aim there. 20 yards total. Looking for about 15 or so of carry, I think. Pushed a little bit right. Shouldn't be a terrible distance though. Wow, too much. Bogey, I think. Well, barring a complete collapse here, we'll keep it under bogey golf, which is not saying much, but 13 over through 17, 18th and final hole here for this round. Par 5, 500. Let's get a par here. Usually par 5s, 500 is not the longest hole in the world for a par 5 from the furthest back tees. I think maybe birdie, but I'd be happy if I finish this off with a par. Got water up there to contend with, but that should not come into play, I don't think, here, unless I really duck hook one off the tee. That should be more of the second and third shots, but better. Wow, I did not feel, though. I didn't feel like the club face was that open. It was a little bit low and toey. 9.5 of spin axis to the right. And that was only, 2.3 out to in. That's not terrible. Didn't feel like the club face was that open. I felt like it started on a pretty straight start line. And I always check the alignment before I hit some wedge shots to make sure I pull one a little bit, I push one a little bit, and then I hit one down the middle with my 60. So I know the alignment. I don't think that's the issue. So either that was that bad and that was that much of a slice, or maybe a slight misread. Oh boy. Oh man, we're on an upslope, we're out of a bunker, it's going to come out left, we've got 224. I'm going to smash 3-wood. It's like almost an island green over here. Going to come out left on top of it. There's probably like a 75% chance this ends up in the water, but I kind of just want to advance in it at this point. I don't really care if I drop one extra stroke, if I can advance it like 100, 200 yards and then we take a drop back, but let's see what happens here. That's a pretty steep lip. I don't know if we're getting out of this with a 3-wood. Pulled it left. Oh, we caught the lip. Well, we're out. Take two. We still might put this in the water. 216 out of the rough. All right, it's actually probably closer now to a downslope, probably closer to a 4 hybrid. A little bit better, a little bit toey. Stayed more down with my chest covering that. That was hit a little bit better. All right, bunker shot hopefully to finish this off. 14 yards out of the greenside bunker, which will be 25%. So what is that, 3 yards or so? 17-ish total. It's gonna come out right, so we'll aim here. Probably in the neighborhood of 15 yards of carry, gets it done up and out of this. Don't hate that 4 hybrid swing. Didn't go very far, but well, I drop kicked it, but this may work out. Never mind. Well, we didn't even put it into the water, and we're still looking at not so great shots. We're hitting 5 from 6 yards. We gotta hold this out for par, inner circle for bogey. All right, bottom of the net. That should be better. Came out a little bit left, but wow, even that was a little bit too much. All right, bogey to finish it. So, sorry you guys had to watch that, but kind of unfortunate with that first hole redo after starting off with a par, and then we immediately go to a double bogey. But you guys can sympathize with me down in the comments and feel bad for me. But hey, at least I got out here. This is the only day for the next week or so that's not going to rain, so it could always be worse. At least I'm out here playing golf. So from Le Golf National, I'm not very good at accents, so I'm not going to try to do a French accent, but this is in Guyancourt, Paris, France. Course designer for this one was Mr. Peru. Again, home of the 2018 Ryder Cup as well as the 2024 Olympics in Paris that Scottie Scheffler just won gold at. And we did not get a gold. That would be significantly worse than a gold. They would probably boo me off this course if I did that in real life. Probably would have actually been, even worse score-wise in real life. I would have been probably pretty happy with an 86 at a course like this. But for this round, we ended up with a 14 over, 86. So 45 on the front, 41 on the back. A little bit better, but not much. Only one birdie, and it's tough when you can count the birdies on one hand. You can also count the pars on one hand. We had 4 pars on the front and only 3 pars on the back. Take a look at the stats. 7 pars, 1 birdie, 7 bogeys, 2 doubles, 1 worse. 282 was the longest, 275 was the average. That's actually not too bad. Average 150, 152. Again, I don't know why these don't reflect the information quite accurately, because I'm pretty sure we had one that was like 153 and change, and why that doesn't register and reduces it, I don't know. So realistically, I think if you were to take a calculator out and write down all the ball speeds off the tee, I would think that the average would be like a mile an hour higher, and I think the best one would be in the 153. I think we had a couple 153 as well, so why that happens, I don't know. Maybe I have to change a setting or something, or there's just something a little bit off. But 30 putts, over an hour, because I had to reset things here. Or I guess this was just this round, so an hour and 6 minutes I think it was, but plus we got to add that other one. This is probably going to be on the longer side, so I'm going to wrap this one up. 4 out of 18 greens in regulation, 22%, pretty abysmal. Also, driver, not great. The wrist is actually feeling a little bit better though. Didn't feel too much the last few holes, so 36%, also pretty abysmal. 5 handicap on this one. Average handicap is still all jacked up. So, sorry you guys had to watch that. Can't always play my best golf out here. Hopefully, gonna reset things like I said and go back inside after 36 holes back here without being able to come out for another week and feel good about, again, where my game was, or game is, after hopefully shooting a better score on this next round. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, really appreciate it if you guys check out the Amazon links both in the description and in the pinned comment. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next course.